Great evening, great Monday evening, everyone. Tis Catherine Beasley coming to you with our daily conversation about all things caregiving for loved ones with Alzheimer's and dementia, or dementia, other types. And I just wanted to come back on here. Hopefully, you all had a chance if you're on Facebook or on YouTube to see my interview from earlier today. So if not, I will be adding it to my profile, the link to the recording of the interview in my profile in Instagram, just in case. Otherwise, it's on my Facebook page, which is open. So go on over there and check it out, Catherine Beasley, and or my YouTube page. So we had a really great discussion there about um, providing care for loved ones and the familiar aspect of it, and having the support of family or not, um, and ways to prepare to have the help, or what you do when you don't get the help. So that was a really good conversation. Hopefully you check that out. Leave a message, let me know that you watched it and what you think of it. And then this evening's conversation is going to be um, about a post I saw in one of the Alzheimer's Association, Alzheimer's disease support groups that I am in, and I've seen it come up a lot, and so I wanted to discuss it. And it was a post from a woman who is a caregiver for her mother-in-law, and has been so for 2.5 years. Her husband, they're still together, but they've taken in her mother-in-law because her husband feels obligated to do so. They're both in the military, and they hadn't really seen her in 20 years, but he felt obligated for his mother, who is now at a stage of the disease where she can't live by herself, to come and live with them. And she is now, after 2.5 years, overwhelmed, right? Their life has been kind of turned upside down. They don't have the time for each other. They can't do things together as much because someone always needs to be with her. So they don't get an opportunity to spend as much time as they did in the past together. And she can't, right, go out, or she has to take her mother-in-law with her, and her mother-in-law isn't excited about leaving the home, maybe, and just all of the other things that come up when you are caring for your loved one. The different experiences that she's having in the home with her loved one, and so she feels bad about the fact that she doesn't want to do this anymore. And right, so this is titled about the reluctant caregiver, right? What you can do to improve your caregiving experience, how to thrive in that experience when you are in fact the reluctant caregiver. And so some of these will depend on money, as always, right? And so the first one I would say is respite care because of that, right? Get some assistance, home health aid coming into the home care aid, whatever they call themselves, depending on who you contract with. Um, Adult day centers that you can maybe take your loved one to throughout the day, so that you get a few moments alone, and to breathe, and do some things that you need to do for yourself. But anything, contracting if you can, right? Family members or involving friends that you can trust, who are willing and able to help out, to just give you moments of peace to yourself, moments of time when both you and your husband, if that is the case, can get out and still enjoy one another, and then go back to life as a caregiver. And she feels sad and bad about not wanting to be a caregiver any longer. This is 2.5 years of her life, and who knows how much longer it's going to be. And even her husband understands it, but she's still there and gonna hang in there, right, to support him, but because she feels that he would do it for her if it were reversed, right? And he said he wouldn't ask her to do anything that he wouldn't do, and she knows and believes in him, for that to be the case. And I get it, except it's still your life, sis, right? And so you have to do what's right for you. So making sure you get some time to yourself, time away to decompress, right? There's a lot going on when you're caring for someone with Alzheimer's disease. And you have to honor how you feel, and it's okay for you to feel that way because it's you, and you are extremely affected by this new I was gonna say burden, and it's true, right? But you are really affected by this new role that you are playing, and so you should not feel that you can express your dislike of it, right? That doesn't mean you're going to be mean to your mother-in-law, or to whomever you're caring for. If it's not someone who's caring for their mother-in-law, right? You'll take care of them to the best of your ability, still giving them the best care that you know how, but you don't always have to be happy about it, right? You can have some resentment towards the situation if that is how you feel, but you definitely want to move past those feelings, investigate them, talk to your partner about it, have an honest conversation, decide on the plan moving forward. Okay, it's been 2.5 years. When will we get to the next stage, right? Have an honest conversation about how much longer this is going to be the case. What's the tipping point? What are we looking for before we investigate other options, like having your loved one go to a home or to a nursing center? Because especially if they are at the point where they will need, sorry, where they may need at more advanced care. And you definitely want to make sure that you are always of the mind to having your loved one get the best care possible. And sometimes that is not you. And so you want to keep that in mind. Setting proper boundaries with your loved one and with the husband, right? And this saying what it is you will and will not do, and why you need help for X, Y, and Z, should it be the case, right? Not everyone is cut out to have to help with all of the daily activities like bathing and when they go to the restroom if they're not able to, right? Those are extremely personal um activities, and it not being your mom specifically say may make it awkward for you, something like that. Even, I'm not saying that this is a case for that woman, but in instances like that, you want to make sure that you are honoring yourself at all times. And if it's something you're not comfortable with and that's what's needed, then that's when you need to make sure you get the assistance that you need. And this was 2.5 years ago. It's okay for you to have a change of heart after having been in it for this long, and being overwhelmed and seeing that it's right. It's not getting any better. It's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse, right? This is that type of horrible disease that really just continues on a downward slope. So, um, if this is not for you, it's not for you. And that's a discussion you need to have and make a plan for it, honoring and putting up and honoring your boundaries for what you will and will not do, getting some respite care in place. And obviously money is an issue, then you can only do what you can do. Seeking assistance from elsewhere. Had a conversation earlier during that interview I did about being able to ask for assistance if you have people available to be able to help you, right? Asking for the assistance that you need um, so that you get the breaks that you need to make this a little bit easier for you and on both you and your loved one. And yeah, getting the time to spend with your husband, because this is your life and this is what you want, right? Um, and so you want to check out some of the different organizations. So you have the Alzheimer's Association that has local chapters that have funding and resources available to you. So check with them. You can check on the National Institutes of Aging. They have local organizations related to aging. So just do a search, right? A council on aging near me or something on the internet, and it will give you some of the local agencies that cover that could possibly give you some assistance. Alzheimer's.gov, alz.org or to the nia.nih.gov is another. And so you want to check with those agencies, and then they definitely have lists of additional resources that are available to you. But taking advantage of any assistance that they have, looking to do adult daycare. So maybe, and if your loved one is capable of going there and thriving, right? Depending on where they are, they may not be able to, but finding a local adult day center that they can go to that will allow you to get that break would be really helpful if you can at least get that in place initially. But it's okay to be a reluctant caregiver, right? You don't have to want to be doing this in order to do it and do it well. And it'd be nice if everything were all lining up in place and really rosy, but life happens, and situations are what they are. This light is bugging me. And so you just honor yourself, have those feelings, push through them, but get the plan in place, talk to your loved one, your husband, whomever, and just figure out what the next steps are. Because right now you're going down that slippery slope of not only having the resentment, and goodness knows that I'm sure this woman is not going to start doing anything wrong, but then that could also start to lead to um, instances of unkindness, let's say, to your loved one because you're resentful and not addressing those feelings. So you definitely want to make sure that you have the talks that you need, and address it and make a plan for how you're going to move forward and for how long this is going to be your life, especially when you want to preserve your marriage too, right? There has to be an honest discussion about it. Um, so I just wanted to touch on that and to let you know that you're not alone. Not everyone is thriving in this experience and necessarily, and so you want to figure out ways to make it better for yourself. Have a great evening, everyone.